While it's cold and snowy outside, we are taking advantage of our time that we have indoors to talk about getting the garden ready for planting in May. That's not that far away.
No.
And landscaping expert Phil Steinhauer of Designscapes Colorado joins us now. Welcome, Phil. It's nice to have you back.
Yes.
And you're a big proponent of the plan for the garden.
Exactly. You want to, because as you know, one of these little seed packs has a lot of seeds in it.
Yeah.
So you really want to plan your garden, and whether you do it in a little sketch like this or you just measure it out, now's a great time to go through seed catalogs, go to the garden centers, look at the different seeds. That's kind of one of the things. There is cost savings to planting seeds and starting them indoors, but it's also as much about getting back into the garden for gardeners and being kind of horticulturally minded. So I think that's as important, and then also the unusual varieties you can get with seeds.
Oh, it's so tempting. The fruits, the vegetables, the flowers.
Exactly.
Quick question for you. If you have some seed packets left over from last year, do you have to throw them away or can you use them?
If you stored them carefully, I mean, kept them in a dry place, you can use them for about 2 years, typically, is about the lifespan of a seed.
Otherwise, you're taking your chances if
Yes,
you just threw them
exactly.
around anywhere. Okay.
Yep.
So show us the process.
So
what do we do?
We want to start out when you're starting seeds indoors, and you always want to start with a soilless mix, something that doesn't have any soil in it, because you want a really light soil so the roots can get down. And you also want to start with something that's very sterile, because these plants, just like our babies, are really tender and susceptible to disease. So you want to start.
This is very lightweight.
Yeah, you want to start with, like I say, I would purchase it. Don't use your garden soil. If you
Okay.
are going to use the soil that you had around, put it in the microwave for a while and actually kill the germs that are
You're
and
kidding.
diseases that might be in it.
Wow, that's a great tip.
Yeah, and then as far as containers, there's all, depending on the space that you have, there's all kinds of starter kits like this. You can buy the cells. You can even take, like, again, a salad, you know, one of your greens containers.
A salad box like this.
Poke some holes in it, fill it, and then you actually have your little greenhouse that you can put on top as it's
That's
beginning.
clever.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I like to use just the traditional peat pots. And again, depending on what kind of seeds, you can judge what size pots you need. But these are just the biodegradable seed pods that you know that are just made out of peat moss. Again, an old yogurt container with some holes in the bottom would work just fine.
Okay.
And then kind of when you do that, you want to make sure you have a sunny window. The other thing when you're starting seeds is you don't need to buy a fancy greenhouse light or anything like that. Just get, you know, a shop light and then get a cool light and then a warm light.
Okay. So you need two different kinds of light.
Yeah, because you're going to get a broader spectrum of light if you do that.
Okay. So the cool light and the bright light.
And then depending on where your room is in your home, if it's in a sunny windowsill, you might not need this, but if you don't have the room in your windowsill, you want to keep the temperature at about 70 degrees to germinate them.
So
you
what's this?
This is just a tray, and it's actually really stiff, but it sits underneath your tray, so it actually heats the soil and keeps it warm.
Like a little heating pad here.
Yep, exactly.
Okay. Where do you find something like that?
At the garden centers, they have
Okay.
these. So like I say, if you have a warm room or a sunny window, you don't need something like this.
All
but
right.
if you're in a cooler spot. And then,
Last 30 seconds here,
okay,
Phil.
well, why don't we show you how you do this? It's super simple.
Okay.
Here's a pencil to make your holes, and we've just filled the pots. Fill them all the way up to the brim with this soilless mixture, and you only need a cucumber. You look at the back of the seed pack. Is only going to go, oops.
Whoops. Cucumbers for everybody.
About a half inch down. So
How many of these would you put in
I would
there?
put 2 or 3 in, just to
Couple?
guarantee you
All
have
right.
some germination.
1, 2, 3. All right.
And then you just want to bury that up lightly.
There we go. And that's so soft, and that's why they're going to grow.
Yep, and that'll...
Don't jam them in there and get them all tight
Don't get
in
them
that
too
soil.
deep. You just really need, and the smaller the seed might only be just a dusting on the surface.
And before long, you'll get a tray like this. This is fantastic. What are these, Phil?
These are peppers that were started a few weeks ago, so you can see what you'll have, and then you can start to thin them out as you have, you know, we put 3 seeds. If all 3 germinate, you want to pick 2 out and leave 1.
That's hard to do.
And then just another quick tip, if you have a cover like this helps the humidity, and then just set that on top until they germinate, and then you want the fresh air. But this is just helps keep the humidity in while they're, you know, getting ready to germinate.
And don't plant these outdoors in the ground until when?
till about May 15th.
All right. Well,
Is
thank you,
really
Phil.
About the
May 15th.
Yeah.
Something to look forward to.
Yes.
We've put a link to all of Phil's advice at thedenverchannel.com. Just scroll down the homepage to find that red button. And I'll also post this segment on my Facebook page. But right now, we send it to Dale.